Hello, welcome back. Last time I found my way to an exciting new world, but there's no time to look around. We got reading to do in an ancient arcane script that's really hard to manage. I feel nothing today. That's an N. I feel nothing today. Why is it shaped like an M then? This is a constant problem. I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world inhabited by people that... They are treating me so strangely. They are treating me so strangely. I'm kind of hoping to be able to get through all of this today, but I can't make any promises or guarantees. Just kind of gonna have to hope. They're treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. I'm still on outlet here. I'm still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves, talking of my harvest. Bravery? Talking of my bravery during my expansion to the surface. I guess that's excursion. How I walked, confess the island. How I walked across the island, bold and unfiltered, unfreed, ununified, me fried. Bold and unafraid. There we go. They don't know me. Even Eddie is uncomfortable around me. At times, there is no awkwardness, and I am only Katrin to her. I guess they call her Katrin, because they can't spell or pronounce her name. Huh. All right, Katrin. But unless I'm misreading that, that's probably what's happening. Maybe not. Katrin. But at other times, I am something else. I am afraid. There's such a gaunt numbness. There's such a gaunt numbness. Gaunt? G? That might be a G. Is there really enough room for an A there? G? I guess gaunt? I feel such a gaunt numbness inside me. Really? That word doesn't seem like it fits. But maybe it does. It kind of almost does. Today I do not feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. I do not hate Gan. I don't feel anything. I'm not even sure of, crossed out, at least Nella. That's not Nellac, that's Nella. Okay, that's an H. Is it? Or is it a K? This was a mistake. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 19. Was it here? Wasn't she mentioned in this note? All right, quickly from my prison. Nella. Okay, that's an H, not a K. Okay, Nella. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yep. At least Nella is still close. Who would have thought reading a book would be such a hard puzzle? I am boiling. I am. Gan is making and waiting? Gan is making and writing books. I wish they had told me sooner. Atris should have reloaded this would happen. Atris should have realized... Is there really a Z in there somewhere? Somewhere in these squiggles is a Z, if you can believe it. I can't. Atris should have realized this would happen, of course. Gan would have written all of the materials necessary to the Denis craft of... What? Atris should have realized this would happen, of course. Gan would have... That probably says written. All of the materials necessary to the Dienercraft of making books into this age. Yeah, that does make sense. Sometimes I just don't read far enough ahead to understand what I'm reading. And probably every other age he ever wrote. He is attempting to write his way out of here. We did not imprison him. We only delayed him. This age has become his factory, and the people are his machines, all laboring in his mad pursuit to become a god, to carry on his noble Dni cause. So far, what kind of S is that? That's just a line with a little curve on the top and bottom. So far, he has not been able to produce a fully functional book. No dates in here. I don't know when this was written. Atris has never believed in destiny, but I don't know what else to call it. It's too perfect. It's too much of a coincidence. They hang on my every word, though they do not understand them. I'm having that problem too. I am their hope, and now I have returned. I owe this to them. There is no choice. Hey, check it out. There's the turny lever on the microscope, so if I hadn't found that myself, this would have told me about it. It's been a long time since my last entry. How long? You're not dating these. It is hard to recognize, but I have found the Starfisher. If I hadn't just seen this as an S, I would have had a lot more trouble here. It is located on the island, which the Rivenese call Alapo? A-L-L-A-P-O. That's how I'm parsing that. Alapo, meaning water pool, but which is referred to by the Moiety as something. Illegible, maybe A-T-W-A. I always think N's or M's, so that's probably actually an N because it looks like an M. What could this be? I don't think that's a U. A squiggle, long under squiggle, L-A-T-W-N. What's this squiggle? I mean, it's just, you start here, you go up, you do a real tight loop around, go down, then make a long loop to the next letter, which I think is L. Okay, is there anything that looks like this? Names. Names are the hardest thing. Okay, so here's an L. Could this not be an L, maybe? So if it's A-L... something else A? What does a double L look like? Like that, Alapo. It's legible, they're close together, they are not that far away. Loop. Okay, let's go through the alphabet. A, no. B, probably not. C, no. D, no. E, don't think so. F, no. G, no. H, no. I, no dot. J, L, kind of, but that's an L and it doesn't look like that. M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. This is no letter. This is not a letter in the alphabet. It's just a squiggle. A squiggle latwam, meaning pool of stars. Having once allowed Atris, well, there's a double L that looks kind of like that. All right, fine. Let's assume that's a double L. So I guess the difference is like this is a connecting letter. Like this is a ligature? Why don't I feel like that's the right term? It is. No, ligature means something else. That's a join. Right, yeah. So these two join together. Allatwan. A-L-L-A-T-W-A-N. That's the closest thing I can read there. Having once allowed Atris to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport, okay, the combination to which was acquired by the moiety before my arrival. All right, it's 33331. Or is that 5? My paper's not in front of me. It is 5. 33335. Okay, 33335. That's the combination. Got it. Stop! What? Okay, that's what stops it from going all the way down, I guess. In the early days, the moiety, seeking an escape from Riven, briefly pursued the idea of nephewing the fissure. Reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent this scope from hitting the portal window. Wait, the star fissure is down there under the telescope? Hold up. I have found the star fissure. It is hard to recognize. It's located on the island. It's called Alapo. This is a squiggle Latuan. Pool of stars. Locked viewport, combination to which, in the early days of the moiety, seeking an escape from Riven, briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it. I hate to think what would have happened to them if they had not left it alone. If they had not left it alone. I've instincted them. I assume that must say instructed. Looks like instincted to me. I've instructed them to stay away from it. I'm almost certain that with the decayed state of the islands, opening the fissure now would be disastrous. I have heard that in the days immediately following Gan's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, for he had seen that the mist book fall from Atris's hands into that very same space. To this end, then, it fell into my hands somehow. To this end, he would have people, alleged transgressors of the law, thrown into it so that he could observe their fate. Observe? Yeah, that says observe. The telescope which still stands there is one he had built for these Callus experiments. I was kind of close somehow. It is said that they did not die, but what became of them remains a mystery. It appears that the limits of Gan's optics prevented him from learning their fate. The star field beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. This is how Atris explained it after he had fallen into it. But much more than that, we've never understood, and we were never able to conclude. We were never able to conclude upon its origins. We were never able to conclude upon its origins. Okay, it's written clearly, but that's just a really weird way to phrase something. Multiple layers of puzzle here. But the visions tell me that it was born out of the will of the Maker. Who's that? Perhaps for some greater purpose that we cannot yet understand. I still remember Atris's words from his journal. I wish he were the one writing this, because I can read his handwriting. I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse. I remember hearing these words out loud. That's familiar. There must be some greater reason behind it. I neglected to mention it earlier. The unigne, the unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared dreary over Ea from Riven. Help. What's going on? The unique shape of one of the great daggers, that does say daggers, which appeared during the unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared during our escape from Riven, the very dagger that stands vertically at one end of the Alatran. That looks like a different word. It's no more legible, though. I guess Alatran? Why do these two L's next to each other always look like completely different letters? Well, because one is leading. It's unjoined with the capital letter next to it, but then this one is joined to... So yeah, this is a leading form, this is a mid form. It's like reading Arabic. That I can honestly do better than this. Has been adopted by the moiety as the symbol. Probably not anymore. I used to be able to, but I haven't practiced in a while. Has been adopted by the moiety as the symbol of their cause. It is a sacred symbol for them. It is the representation of all of... Yeah, that could plausibly be the same. Of all of their doctrine, and their representation of me. To deface this symbol is sacrilege. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins. I haven't told them that I wrote it into this age, along with all the other daggers. It's strange how such a young religion can be so unbending, even to their own God. I have tried to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain so much power. The enemy uses this paranoia against them. They are fearful of Gan's symbol and are terraced by his symbolic use of the Wehrk. Are terrorized? Z's just kind of disappear into the rest of the letters. I assume there's a Z in there. T-E-R-R-O-R-I must be Z-E-D. By his symbol... Didn't Gan have a completely nonsensical Z that had like a huge descender on it? Maybe that's just how those are written in the script. Terrorized by his symbolic... A trailing one, at least, at the end of it. Was it at the end of a word? I don't know. Symbolic use of the... W-E... Okay, I'm revising my guess from K to H. W-A-H-R-K. Wehrk. It's a German word. Symbolic use of the... Okay, this is a W, right? I think so. Is this an A? Hold on, what letter is this? Could be R. It's probably R. That's probably a K. Wehrk. It's a German word. W-E-H-R-K. Okay. But they don't want to hear this from me. Perhaps my attempts have even unused some of the younger members of the moiety to doubt that I am Catherine. Caused some of the younger members that I am Catherine. No, you're Katrin. What could this say? I don't have any context clues. Well, I kind of do. The enemy uses this paranoia against them. They are fearful of Gan's symbol and are terrorized by his symbolic use of the Wehrk. Okay, which of those letters could be something else? This E could be an A, maybe. Wehrk. What about this one? Am I sure that's an R? That's an R, and it's like pointier on top. This one has a flat top. Could it be an N? Enemy. No, N doesn't have a flat top. What has a flat top? That distinctly goes up, then over, then down. Against. No, that's not an N. Where's an R? Fearful. Yeah, that matches. Okay, it's an R. I guess I'll look for a trailing K. Is this just a smudge of ink, or is that part of the letter? All right, there's a trailing K. One. Undoubtedly, mighty symbol of their cause is symbol of the recitation of all sacrilege, explanation, origins, told them trailing K is not the most common thing to find here, apparently. 2. Don't see one here. 3. Right about like, oh, talk. No, that says tell. I thought it said talk when I first read it, but no. 4. Missed book. Transgressions. Fate. Experiments. 5. No word ever. Think. Here we go. Think. Okay, so it comes in here, goes all the way up, down, and out. Okay, so up, down, halfway up, halfway down, out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Wait, no, I lost count. I'm Catherine. Okay. Up, down, halfway up, halfway down, out. That's definitely a K. W, something, something, RK. Could this be more than one letter? Could this be... No. W, E or A, H, R, K. Could it be W-E-L, then something K? What could end with K? Could this be a C? I don't think so. Okay, don't know what this word is. It's Wehrk. It's a German word that I also don't know in German. My name, my Nair? Well, encounters with those who say they follow Gan have been rare. My rare encounters with those who say they follow Gan have been discouraging. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface Richgers. Richgers. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface villagers. There we go. That's a V. Surface villagers, but they always flee from me. Yeah, I have the same problem. But I have heard news of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gan. Soon after we trapped Gan on Riven, he claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as a reminder of their failure. I'm the village, circles, it is told. Really, letter that looks like this is an N? Fine. In the village circles, it is told... That's an M. In the village circles, it is told that this was a punitive act performed by Gan to mark the beginning of a period of restitution, at the end of which, if they have proven their devotion to him, they will be delivered unto a new and better existence. Like, okay, fine. M's or N's. A new and better existence. Why are M's N's? I don't know. What does an M look like? Does it have, like, 3 arches on it? I will continue to try to reach them. The door is open. Squiggle. Gan is face. The door is open. Gan is face. No, that's an E. Free. The door is open. This isn't an ampersand. This is just a fishhook. The door is open, fishhook, Gan is free. Hold on. Was he imprisoned within? Well, he was on Riven, but like within the confines of Riven, he wasn't like specifically imprisoned behind a door, was he? The door is open and Gan is free. The door is open. I mean, and is the only thing that can work there. Is that just what a cursive ampersand is? It's just a just a U? Gan has the ability to create working books. In fact, he had written one age before I arrived. The ND or the TH age, I wonder. But has kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. I'm not sure. Perhaps he has written others. Other news. A few years ago, before the Moiri... Other news. A few years ago, before the Moiri were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gan had intended to destroy. It had been partially written but did not work. They didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gan's books worked, but instead of correcting the problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure wood of the Riven forest and proceeded to engineer a cumbersome mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes, to heal his books. To does that really say heal? To heal his books' inherent flaws. I think that says heal. Yeah, that fits. To heal his books' inherent flaws. One of the consequences of this crude solution, however, was that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy, and the related problems delayed his success for quite some time. I read about this. At last, however, he finished his work and was finally able to link to an age, but he kept his success extremely well hidden. However, for some reason or another, belligerent pride? He has made modifications to the domes which make it obvious that he's using the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. Perhaps the memo to cure into using the books. Perhaps he means to... I mean, we're using like healing terminology. Cure could lure? Perhaps he means to lure me into using the books in the domes. There we go. He can't believe that we would hindly swallow this suicidal hect? What? He can't believe that we would blindly swallow this suicidal... I mean, I see the question mark in there, intersecting with the letters. Bait. Suicidal bait. See, the reason I don't recognize bees is because they don't have the loopy shape in them. They just like line up, line down, and it's a tiny little bit of extra thickness in the bottom half. But he wouldn't know that we have one of his books, the Stolen Turnt book, the Stolen Burnt book. There is a possibility. There is a, what does a lowercase p look like? It has a loop in it, right? Possibility. Feasibility? No, there's two S's. This is not a P, is it? Leading lowercase p. That's what I'm looking for. I should recognize it. Okay, there. Problems. That's not a match. That's a different letter. That's not a P. Maybe that's why she crossed it out, because she wrote an F instead of a P. There is a possibility of. All right, well, I think that's where it ends for today. I don't have the time to go through the rest of this book. Like I said, multiple episodes of reading. How many pages left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. How many did I get through today? Let's predict. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking for I feel nothing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16 today, 10 to go next time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so 2 minutes per page. That's about what I'm averaging, or a little worse, maybe. All right, this is what we're doing. It's honestly kind of nice to know what I'm doing in this game. I have this task. It's a hard task, but it's straightforward, kinda. All right, I'll see you next time to finish puzzling over this and see if I can actually look around in the real world then, maybe.